Okay, so we're out and about today, so I thought I'd make a little video to show you this new bit of coffee brewing kit that I got for when I'm out and about and camping and stuff. Did talk recently on one of the videos not long ago about trying to find ideas for making real coffee when out camping and hiking and whatever, without having to take lots of clunky equipment like the mocha pot and stuff like that. And I think I've found something that is pretty good. It's made by Barista Co. It's just called a stick coffee maker. So basically the idea is that you can have freshly ground coffee or good quality coffee, whatever, twist the top off, bung it in there, and then you put it in, stir it around a bit and just leave it to brew in hot water. I did try it at home quickly the other day and seemed to get a pretty decent brew out of it. The more you swish it around, the better you get, or the stronger coffee you get. And that's just a drip pot. So you could leave that at home if you want to be a bit more minimalist. So I'm going to brew up some water now and see how it goes. Okay, so the coffee's ground and ready. This is just the little Hario, what's it called? Mini Slim Japanese grinder. Alright, I am having it in the giant Coleman stove cup, so it's not exactly the best. You're supposed to pour it over the top, but I'm sort of out and about and I forgot a cup and it's pretty bad weather, so I'm going to do this again in the shed, but pouring it over and see if it makes a difference. That'll be a good little experiment actually. So anyway, take our coffee grinds out of here. It's just one scoop, a little Hario scoop. Can't remember how much that is, I'll put it up on the screen. Pour that into there. That's pretty full. Actually instructions say 2/3, but just put a whole scoop, it's generally what I go with. So pop that back on there, and then we just get that, put it in the hot water, give it a stir and a twizzle, then we'll just leave it to brew. Alright, so that's been brewing for about 5 minutes with quite a bit of stirring. It's pretty dark actually, it's not transparent. You know, it's obviously not espresso, but it's sort of good brew. So we'll get some sugar in there. Well, let's taste it first actually, without anything in it. Put that in the drip pot. Boom. I'll give it a taste test. It's not the strongest, but I didn't do the pour over method. So later on in the video I'll do the pour over method. But it's nice, it has got a lot of flavour, it's nice. Right, now I'm going to put some sugars and powdered milk in it. And James Hoffman would go mad if he saw this, powdered milk. Terrible. If you want to learn more about coffee, watch James Hoffman on YouTube. Knows his stuff. That's a bit of sugar. That was a tea bag in there. Bit of powdered milk, or coffee mate. There you go. I'll do a much more professional job later on in the shed. Apart from the terrible cup, it's alright. Okay, take 2. We're in the camo shed and grinding some more beans. We'll do it the same way, but going to try the pour over method this time. I'm in the shed because the weather is just so unpredictable. It's been a bit crap. To be honest, tried to get Issa out today and get her involved in the video of it. But you know, if I was out by myself, to be honest, if you want to go out to the woods for a brew, you need a shelter. I'd have just strung up the basher and then sat down somewhere comfortable. But it was a new woods we was checking out, and we couldn't really find somewhere comfortable to sit. So we kind of, when it started raining, we was just like, let's just get out of here and get to those benches and try there. and it started raining again. But this is a perfect example of realistically what it's like trying to do things like just making a brew when you're out and about on a day hike, on a camp or bushcraft sort of adventure or whatever. This is realistically what it's like. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass. Things aren't that easy. It's not always as easy as people make it out to be. So, you know, drinking from this because you forgot your cup, or trying to do something in the rain, it's just, that's the way it is. So, things like this, you know, saying, oh, this could be useful for hiking and stuff like that, you have to get out there and field test it. But like I said, if I was on my own, if normally what I'd have done is strung up the basher, sat under that, and then once you're under that, you're fine. Anyway, let's go on with this one. We'll do the pour over method and we'll see if it comes out as a better brew. So as you can see, it's quite a coarse grind, and that's what's recommended on the instructions, is to use quite a coarse grind for it. Obviously that will mean less extraction. I'm surprised it says that, because the filter, I don't know how well you can see that on camera, but the filter is actually really fine. So I might have to experiment more with a finer grind. Anyway, we'll give that one a go. We'll see how we get on. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier to measure the amount of water in a proper little cup like this. Again, drinking it in a little camping cup, because that is what I'd be using on the road, so give it a bit more realistic. Well, there you go. I think that's pretty well brewed up. It's hard to tell the darkness in this dark blue cup. Maybe I should put it in a glass. Let's hold that up to the light. I know it looks very light, but obviously that's in a glass with the light on it. See how dark it looks there? That's more like what it looks like realistically. I guess it's like an American coffee. It comes out like an American coffee. Now the actual amount in the cup seems to have shrunk quite a lot. It's gone down to like almost half a cup. I suppose that's because a lot of the water ends up getting absorbed into the coffee. I don't know. But doesn't taste very strong at all this time. Not sure if I didn't stir it enough or didn't brew it enough. But yeah, tastes kind of weak. Definitely like American coffee. My favourite coffee is from the mocha pot, really, and that's kind of like considered something in between espresso and drip filter coffee, something in between. So I like it, I suppose, a bit stronger. I'll have to keep experimenting with it. Bear in mind, I'm not a coffee expert by any means, but things like this, you know, you have to play around with and find out better ways. I might have to try a finer grind and see where we end up with that. But yeah, I did mention earlier on in the video, if you want to learn a bit about coffee, look at James Hoffman on YouTube. I think he's an award-winning barista or something like that, but anyway, barista. But he can teach you pretty much everything you need to know about coffee. I'm not sure if he's tried this. I might look up on his channel and see if he's tried this before, because he does experiment with things like this. If not, I'm going to try and get hold of him, see if he can try it out and see what he thinks. See what I'm doing wrong. Another thing you have to consider with this is that as the cup is sitting there and it's brewing, if you're out and about outdoors, unless it's like the hottest day in summer, the brewing process is probably really slowed down by the fact that it's constantly cooling down. And by the time I actually got to drunk it both times today, outside and in the shed, it's kind of cooled down a bit too much. so it's kind of lukewarm, and you're probably not getting as much brew out of it as you could do if you was indoors and it was in something a bit more contained. It would be better if you had a cup that you could maybe put a lid on, or a cosy on, but then you're not going to be able to put the lid on with the brew or stick inside it. So yeah, I know when it comes to being lightweight for backpacking and stuff, the plastic Hario like dripper, which I've got with the filter papers, is perfectly lightweight actually, but you have to keep buying the new papers. It's not very ecological. You have to bring the papers with you, keep those dry, and it's quite a bulky thing. It's like wide and a bit of an awkward shape to carry around with you. It's not the end of the world, but just looking at something as an alternative. Anyway, there's not much more I can conclude from this really, apart from to say, obviously I probably wouldn't take that with me camping. I'd grind it all at home, put it in a little pot and take it with me. But just to show you that it is freshly ground on the day. And I'll have to just experiment with it a bit more really and take it out with me. Hopefully during, this is Sunday, so hopefully during the week I'm going to get out after work one day and give it another go. And this is just a kind of first look, and then like I say, I'll get back to you in a little while, a few weeks, a few months, something like that, and see if I'm still using it, see if it's any good. But until then, thanks for watching.